Well, hello everybody. Welcome back one other time for tonight. Well, first of all, it looks like I think the worst of the winter storm event, the worst of the worst of the winter storm event, the wor- the worst of the winter storm activity that had been in the forecast for now, at least. I think is pretty much let up pretty much completely. I'm not seeing too much in the way of any sign of any other activity out the window right now. Um, one thing I sort of thought I'd bring you. One thing I sort of thought I'd bring you. One thing. One 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 thing I sort of. One thing I sort of thought I'd bring. One one thing I sort of thought I'd bring you all in on. You know. You know. Sort of, kind of. Well, we all here and there are gonna have times when we're feeling like when we're having those moments every now and then, every once in a while, every now and then, where you're kind of feeling like feeling like feeling like you kind of feeling like you're gonna want feeling like you're wanting to bawl your eyes out about certain things. Well, you know such as like seeing certain such as like you know like you know, missing certain people, even though you just saw them earlier in the day, or 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 missing certain people, even though you just saw them the day prior. You may remember one of my one of my videos from a couple months ago back in November. If you may recall, I think I had the title be slightly discouraged here. I think that's what the title of it was. I think it was slightly discouraged. Was I think what I had the title of that blog and video be? Where again it was like you know I think I had kind of talked a little bit about how you know like day prior when went to when had my cousin's big 50 birthday celebration all all out over at Iron Smoke Distillery, all out over in Fairport, all out over in Fairport, and how had definitely met some pretty cool people and stuff. And how you know there was some people that that I had met that seemed really really nice and really seemed like some you know great people to chat with, great people to kind of get to know a little bit, and how I had kind of I think I had said in vlog in in one of my videos that I had done the day after that. Again, the one where I think I'm pretty sure the title of the vlog and video that I have is that I have it being as slightly discouraged, slightly 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 discouraged here. You know, um, uh, and how I had said how I had I had sent certain certain Facebook friend requests to quite a good number of the people that ended up seeing all at my cousin's big 50 birthday celebration, all at Iron Smoke, all at Iron Smoke, all at all at Iron Smoke Distillery out in all at Iron all at Iron Smoke Distillery out in Fairport. All at Iron Smoke all at all at Iron Smoke Distillery in Fairport, and you know, well, so I'll kind of give you a brief update. Um, most of the people that I had seen or ended up meeting at my cousin's Big 50 birthday celebration, all at Iron Smoke Distillery out in Fairport. Um, uh, uh, back in November, did end up coming through, and did end up accepting a good bit of my Facebook friend requests for the most part. You know, um, uh, and certain people, when I had seen that certain people did, I definitely was all excited and stuff, and so far, it seems to be going just fine, just fine. You know, you know, um, and you know, right now, sort of, kind of having a little bit of those moments where kind of feeling like wanting to ball eyes out a little bit, over certain people that maybe either had seen earlier, that you feel like you miss already, even though maybe you'd already seen them earlier in the day, or just recently, you know, you know, and just feeling like you think that you're done seeing certain people for a while, but could be wrong. Maybe it's not done yet, but but like perhaps certain people that you do enjoy working with at your work area, like at work at BJ's, that you think you that you think or anticipate, you know after today and tomorrow it's a done deal, but could be wrong. You know, it could be wrong. It could be wrong. May end up being around a little longer. You know, but again, of course, do everything to continue to just remember, boundaries and stuff in your work area. Of course, you know, like, of course, the people that ended up seeing or meeting at my cousin's Big 50 birthday celebration back in November, a couple months ago, back in November, you know, that's another thing, you know, like, you know, um, so, um, um, usually, for people like myself, when you're every once in a while having such moments where you feel like, you know, you want to bawl your eyes out and certain stuff. For me, the thing that it tends to be about the most tends to be about, certain people that, certain people that you're missing, that you're missing so soon, even though you already saw them earlier in the day, or even though you maybe had just seen them like the day before, the day prior. And, I would go maybe walk around the parking lot. It's just that it's so cold out tonight, and it's supposed to be so cold tomorrow. And it's also supposed to be so cold tomorrow here in Rochester. You know, um, you know, um, and you know, you know. I mean, I know some people that I know of, like, if some people that I know, that if it ends up being feeling like wanting to bawl your eyes out over seeing certain fe- feeling like wanting to bawl your eyes out over such people that you miss seeing so soon, either even though you've already either seen them just a few hours ago or early on in the day or the day prior, or even just the other day, couple of days, or even just or 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 e- or or e- or or or, or even just or even just or even just or even just a couple of days ago. You know, I know a couple people that you know not have not too much, not that often, not that not that often, but every once in a but every once in a great every once in a great while every once in a great while every once in a great while every once in a great while, not only will feel like bawling their eyes out, but maybe even kind of adding whimpering to the mix. Don't mind hearing that buzzing next door. It's all kind of having to do with the continued winter storm warning, going on up until 6 o'clock tomorrow morning here in Rochester. Again, this is not the only vlog and video that I've done today. I did two other vlogs and two other videos. One early this morning before I headed out the door and went to work, and then regarding the upcoming winter storm warning event at the time, and then one other one soon after getting home from work regarding update on what's happened so far with winter storm warning event and stuff. But yeah, if you even heard that buzzing and stuff next door, um, our people next door kind of have their TV on, and off and on, you know, you know, during the time of like any kind of like weather warning, like the winter storm warning we got going on right now, again till all the way till 6 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning is when last I saw, when I believe they say is when it expires. Early 6 a.m. early tomorrow morning, I think, is when they said it expired. When they said it expired. When they said it expires. But getting back to like the bawling eyes out thing again, I like I said, as I was saying before, we heard the buzzing, reminding about the continued winter storm warning all going on in our area. Um, uh, like I said, I do kind of know a couple people that not only have they ended up bawling their eyes out regarding certain people that they missed so soon, even though they just saw them just a while ago, but they've kind of added a little bit of whimpering to the mix, a little bit, um, you know, and you know, but you know, but just because you think that it's a done deal with, certain people being around, doesn't mean that that's actually the reality of the situation. You may have your reasons to think it or be anticipating it, but then, like, couple of days later, a few days later, you may go and find out, well, it is not done yet. Well, it is not done. Well, it is not. Well, it is not done yet. I guess you got a little bit. I guess you got just a little bit low. I guess you got just. I guess. I guess you got. I get. I get. I guess you got. I guess. I guess you. I get. I guess. I guess you got. I guess you. I guess you got just. I guess you got. I guess you get. I guess you got a little bit. I guess you got a little bit. I guess you got a. I guess you got a little bit. I guess you got a little bit. I guess you got a little bit longer. I guess you got a. I guess you got a little bit. I guess you get. I guess you got a little. I guess. I guess you got a little bit. I guess you got a little bit. I guess you got a little bit longer. I guess you got. I guess you got a little bit longer. Maybe. Maybe. Probably not much longer, but a little bit longer. But so once again, I made it through this. I made it through this week with work schedule. I made it through this week with work schedule at work at BJ's. Was a good bit of a challenge at times. Even today, a little bit. Not so much. With what normal day at work at BJ's is. Today was a little different. More so the blizzard activity. But got through it, and again did everything could to prove manpower to brave the elements. Of course we were dressed for the weather, of course. And hopefully next week's work schedule. Hopefully next week. Hopefully next week's work schedule. Hopefully next week's work schedule won't be so bad. I haven't seen work schedule for the following week yet. I'm thinking I'll probably kind of try and take a look at it tomorrow. Like I said in one of my vlogs and videos, I think the other day, couple of days ago, since bringing concerns mostly to one of our HR people at work at BJ's Henrietta, BJ's Wholesale Club location, border of Henrietta and stuff, about, when we had at first seen this week's work schedule and seeing the, 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. for this past Monday earlier this week, for this past Monday earlier this week, and then the 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. for this past Tuesday, and then again yesterday, and then to finish up this week's work schedule, what we ended up doing today, 9 a.m. What we ended up doing, what we ended up doing today, 9 a.m. to 3:45 p.m. and how at first, they had thrown a little bit of the idea out about if I thought of anything about, like I said, it's been well over 7 months. It's been well over 7 months since I had last did any recovery shifts. I obviously have. So again, that means I obviously have not done any recovery shifts in a long. I haven't done any recovery shifts in a long time. Obviously, in a long time. Obviously, and how the idea was sort of thrown out there a little bit, and then of course like again this past Tuesday when my job coach managed to drop by, and I had just said how not wouldn't exactly be real excited to deal with more of that so much. And of course then when my job coach had then went back in and let one of our HR people know, they ultimately understood and stuff. It's just again kind of like again like sometimes sometimes things sometimes at times a good bit can tend to kind of be unavoidable, and it's just sometimes tends to kind of just be the way things kind of just tend to maybe kind of got to work out in such way, but trying to have such things here and there be in a way where don't necessarily have to have two complete back-to-back 7 hour or 7.5 hour days, one day and then do another one of that the next day, or stuff, again, like I said in one of my videos a couple weeks ago, vlogging video we had done shortly after shortly after first seeing this week's work schedule. I know stuff is kind of sad, they do kind of have to, they do kind of have to at times, book each of us based on our availability. That stuff all shows under under our under our information stuff, so just because some days we had recently maybe kind of tightened things up, not too much, but a little bit, and some days with availability doesn't usually mean that getting booked a 7 hour day or 7.5 hour day, maybe even 8 hour day, but most of the time 7 hour day, or here and there 7.5 hour day, doesn't mean getting booked 7 hour day or 7.5 hour day a lot in those days. Doesn't mean it's necessarily good. Doesn't necessarily mean it's just gonna straight up point blank go away for each of those days that you kind of tightened up, that you would kind of just briefly slightly tightened up your availability a little bit, again, not too much but a little bit, and again, like they've said, a good bit of the other cart retriever people and parking lot people, mainly the ones that mainly work later in the day and throughout early evening, even at times late at night, sometimes are not always available to to come in till like earliest, usually sometimes 4:30, like 4:30 p.m. later in the day, 4:30 in the afternoon later in the day. And again, like we understand logic and stuff. Once again, I'm thinking as of now, I'll most likely some point tomorrow morning, hopefully before coming time to attempt to book RTS Access public transportation to and from work for next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. Try and get around to taking a look at work schedule for the week of the 16th through 22nd of February 2020. In another week. So, it's easy to anticipate certain things right now. We'll probably find out some point tomorrow. That is, if our work schedule for the week of the 16th through 22nd of February is even out yet. Most of the time, by this time of the week, our newest work schedules usually would be out. There are some weeks here and there where there may be a little bit of a delay in work schedules coming out, and it may not come out till like either later in the day Saturday, or maybe even not till like end of the weekend, like mid, latter half, or even late in the day Sunday, or till the beginning of the new week. Like the latest step we've usually seen work schedules come out is usually, has been like on a Monday. Most of the time, the gist of the time, but we know that's usually for the most part pretty rare. Pretty rare. Most of the time, our work schedules have either been, most of the time, our latest work schedules, our newest work schedules, latest work schedules have either come out on like Thursday, Thursday, or Friday, Thursday or Friday, Thursday or Friday. There's been some weeks every once in a while where it's even come out on like a Wednesday. Most of the time lately, it's usually been Thursday or Friday. Most of the time lately, it's usually been it's usually been Thursday or Friday. All right, that's as far as I'm going to bring the vlog and video for tonight. I think that'll probably be about all we'll do with vlogging and videoing for today. Maybe tomorrow, our next vlog and video could be on final update, final results on our winter storm warning event that, at the last I saw, they said before, is due to expire at 6 o'clock a.m. tomorrow morning. So perhaps that'll be the next vlog and video. I do also have a couple other, interesting recipes that perhaps I'd like to maybe kind of show you, such as, another one of many crockpot recipes. And I've sort of learned about this kind of new kind of spaghetti recipe where one of the ingredients included, where one of the many ingredients actually included is bacon. I don't know if you've ever seen a spaghetti recipe that's included that, but this one that I'm referring to, from what I understand, it looks like does. All right, so that's all for now. I'll try not to feel too discouraged about, missing such people that I had either just seen earlier today, or, like maybe day prior, a couple of days ago, or earlier in the week. You know, maybe leave a comment down below. I would definitely like, at least one, or at least, a couple of you, or at least some of you. Of course, I'd like a good number of you to definitely leave a like, to definitely leave a like for this vlog and this video, and maybe even comment down below if you wish. Again, that's your choice, but maybe comment down below if you wish, and what you think of this vlog and this video, if you wish. But that's all for now. We'll see you some point this weekend. Hopefully, maybe tomorrow. Be safe with the rest of the time that our winter storm warning is in effect till it expires around 6 a.m. tomorrow. Have a good night. Talk to you later. Peace.